one, the League of United Latin American Citizens, LULAC, and Casinos Gigantes. Give them all a big hand. Thank you. I want to point out to you that if you didn't take a sign, there's a booth over to the side where you can go and make one. We would encourage that. I want to also point out that acorn over here at the easel is actually helping count the crowd. This is several thousand people here. Come by, put a sticker, get a ticket so you get to that very count. I want to point out that after all of the stickers we have here, please make sure you avoid the family farms. We have trucks there that are backing up.
That's the reason why, if you're on the east side, I said you could come with us. Yes. Is that Leisure? Is that Leisure? By Leisure. Oh, sorry.
The way the Trump administration sees democracy and control everyone, our institutions, I want to point out to you that I can't leave you without telling you it's important for every one of you to take action. It's not enough to show up, you have to act. I want to just keep it up for the next week is a big damn week in Congress in Washington, D.C. You know what the SAVE Act is? It stinks on ice. The SAVE Act will eliminate online voter registration in the 42 states that have it. They will force people to go into the office to change their address. God help you if you're a woman who's married and changed your name, you have to have certified documentation. If you're in a rural area, God help you to drive in. It is horrible. Call your elected representatives and say, SAVE Act, no way. We don't want it. Let them know. Because Luzit Camp Perez voted for it last time. Let her know. Today, this is a hands-off rally. I want you to make sure your our elected representatives, all of them, Senator Murray, Senator Cantwell, and Luzit Camp Perez, all know we want hands off. Hands off. Hands off of USAID. Hands off of Health and Human Services. Hands off of the Department of Education. Put it back. And Congress needs to they need to grab their power back. They authorized this stuff for us. Take it back. Okay, and of course we need them to protect health care and Social Security. Anyway, email them. It's really important. Call them. I want to also point out to you that while we're here, if you're not registered to vote, there's a voter registration table on the other side. Go and register. Great. Let's get started with speakers. Before we go too far, I want to introduce Susan Dingle here. I would like her to come up and just say a few words about how important it is for all of you. She's a poet laureate, living video, give her a big hand.
What'd you get? The
coming together of faith and community.
I'm trying to open these.
Right here, right now. I declare we are the force of creativity today. Just look around at all these gorgeous signs. Yes. Today we are the voices
Thank you.
of diversity, equity, and inclusion.
That pup's got a lot to say.
My name is Alyssa, and I was raised in part by a child survivor of Auschwitz. Her name was Judith, and she was orphaned at age 13 when her mother and father and all of her sisters and brothers died at the hands of the Nazis. She was the sole survivor of her family. Judith started telling me her story when I was only 2 or 3 years old, long before I could comprehend it. She told it to me over and over throughout my childhood, and to anyone else who would listen, thinking that that would make a difference the next time. As a very young child, I absorbed it much as I would any other cool and outlandish fairy tale. In my childish imagination, it didn't seem that different than, say, the story of Hansel and Gretel. Villains existed, and they put people into ovens. I learned at a very young age that nothing was too terrible to be true. Even though the Nazis murdered her entire family, she harbored no particular bitterness toward Germans or Germany. She taught me that that kind of evil would
Got
potentially
penguins on his side. So we was the tariffs.
She taught me some other things as well. One of them was that did not have a majority.
Well, Trump did tariff penguins,
I know.
so
Loved Hitler and
I'm on the penguin side.
But she also told me that Hitler didn't need a majority because another third of the German population was simply indifferent to all he was doing. They didn't necessarily like him or the Nazi Party, but they also weren't personally affected by his obsession with eliminating everyone but the members of what he called the master race. And because they weren't personally affected, they weren't troubled by it. They didn't feel any need to stand up and speak out. They weren't the kind of people we think of as evil. Many of them were lovely. They were lovely,
Look at that.
lovely people
Some really
who
nasty
turned
shit.
up their heads as their neighbors were dragged away.
I love this.
You know, if you're anything like me, when you imagine people from mid-20th century Europe,
This is awesome.
intellectually you know they were just like us. They lived in color, they looked like us, and they sounded like us, and they acted like us. But again, if you're anything like me, part of you doesn't really believe that. You think that the black and white footage from those years, and on some irrational level, you believe they were people living in black and white TV.
The Grim Reaper.
They weren't really.
Why isn't he visiting Trump?
In that spirit, I always wondered, who on earth were these friends and neighbors of the Jews who turned their heads in response to what was happening to them and the Romani and the gay and the disabled and to everyone else that Hitler considered inferior beings? Who were the friends and neighbors of these people who just went along with it all? I could never have friends like that. Please believe me when I say I would very much have preferred not to now know otherwise. I would have been very, very happy to live the rest of my life without finding out which of my friends
Nice.
would have made perfect, complicit Germans. You know, I've always been afraid that it could happen here too. I
You're
think
fine.
that fear lives in the Jewish DNA. And after all, the birth of America was steeped in genocide and slavery. And with all the progress we've made since then,
There's a Canadian
a lot
flag.
of
Go
us
Canada.
become complacent. Since Trump's re-election, I've heard so many people who are in denial about where we are. I hear
No
about our
oligarchies
checks
here.
and balances. I hear that Congress will stop him, that our courts will stop him, that our Constitution that the rule of law will stop him. But it's very clear to me that no one is riding to our rescue. It's very frightening. It's very frightening to know that we're on our own, that it's up to us. But it is up to us. Enough of us have to refuse this tyranny.
Ukraine, go Ukraine.
Enough of us have to fight,
Beautiful.
to work, to rally, to organize, to march, to resist. Enough of us have to rise up and say no. So please, before I get off the stage, let me hear you say no to fascism. Let me hear you say no to white supremacy. Let me hear you say no to Christian nationalism. Let me hear you say no to discrimination against our queer brothers, sisters, and non-binary siblings. Let me collapse. Let me hear you say no to divorcing healthcare from science. Let me hear you say no to forced childbirth. Let
That's
me hear you
awesome.
say no to deportations without due process. Let me hear you say no to oligarchy. Let me hear you say no to dictatorship. Let me hear you say no to letting Russia seize and subjugate Ukraine. Let me hear you say no to American imperialism. You give me hope. Thank you all so very much.
I received a notice from someone offering to help with this rally in Vancouver. I said, "Who are you?" He goes, "I'm with Indivisible." I said, "Where are you?" He said, "Vancouver." He's in the other Vancouver for their rally over at the U.S. Consulate just
Right on.
Let me introduce our next speaker. It's Professor Donna Sinclair, history professor, author, oral historian, public history professional. She's the vice chair of the County Democrats and a leader of the original Indivisible Greater Vancouver group. She has research in a wide number of areas regarding the Forest Service, civil rights, and has co-authored Black Women in Green, Gloria Brown, and the Unmarked Trail Forest Service leadership. Big hand.
Wow, everyone. I don't really think it's fair for Ellen to be right after Alyssa. So I will do my best, but I will not be quite as compelling. Hopefully what I have to say will also be compelling.
That beware of dog sign says beware of Trump.
So I've been thinking all week
On the
about
dog.
what I want to say up here. And as I watched traffic rain across the country, Alzheimer's and cancer research halted, Head Start centers shuttered, humanities funding splashed, our allies turning against us, and my own retirement account dropping 10% in a single week, I realized that it's easy to say completely of this administration lost. That was just this week. And I'm sure you will hear many such examples today. As a single parent who raised 3 children while putting myself through school, and who rarely had a job with benefits, I didn't even open an IRA until I was 40. I have spent my life teaching and working in public history, and like many in public service, my retirement savings are modest. So, to the administration's economic meddling and its assault on Social Security, I say loud and clear, hands off. Hands off. But today,
Trump is terrifying.
I want to talk to you about history. On March 31st, Trump issued an executive order titled Restoring Truth and Sanity to American
Terrifying. That's cute.
Yes, it makes us laugh, doesn't it? This came after months of scrubbing women and people of color from federal websites and from their jobs. The irony of the order is in its title. Only in the last 40 years has America even begun to sanely feel the truth of our tortured, often violent, and yet always hopeful history. And that's where I came in. My first paid job as a historian was in 1997. As a grad student, I walked into Portland State University Library to research the incarceration of 33 Nez Perce Indians right here in Vancouver. I could not believe that I was getting paid to go to a library. That was my lifelong dream. But the way that it happened has impacted my entire career. The director of the Washington State Historical Society and my mentor, Bill Dane, at the Center for Columbia River History, were in a meeting with Native leaders about constructing a Native center at the Fort Vancouver site in advance of the
That's why Jesus was a liberal.
Uh-huh.
During that meeting, a Nez Perce man named Alan Stickley asked, why would we want a Native center in Vancouver? of all
Nice to see how big this is getting.
Vancouver, he said, was where his grandfather was a prisoner during the Nez Perce War of 1877. It was the place where the army stationed soldiers.
It's only 12:20. It's only 20 minutes in.
It was where 33 members of the Nez Perce, Red Heart Band, elderly men, women, and children were held captive for nearly a year. And not one of the esteemed historians in that room had ever heard that story. That's how I
Can guarantee you not one of them is a paid protester.
I had the honor of sitting with Native elders, including Horace Axtell, nicknamed Uncle, who opened the conversation with the Nez Perce prayer. Then I went to the archives and looked through 100 years of newspapers. I pieced together how the Red Heart Band were on their way to Honey Buffalo in Idaho and over the mountains. Yeah, I'm sorry, I lost my place here. Before relocating to reservation centers. So they were captured in August. They were paraded in shackles in the towns. They were corralled in a 15-foot enclosure here in Vancouver area. The local newspaper portrayed them as savages. And during that winter, an infant little bear son died. They were released until April 22nd, 1870.
No, it wasn't him. When I was a kid, it was my mom.
Yet it was not part of Washington State history. In 1998, 120 years after their release, the State Historical Society, the National Park Service, and the City of Vancouver joined in a Nez Perce reconciliation ceremony. The tribe brought horses, children, and elders. Yes, they deserve a round of applause. They performed an empty saddle ceremony. That's for the warriors who do not come home. They told the story aloud as they paraded in a circle. They shared a peace pipe and a friendship dance with everyone who was present. And among them were Uncle Jesse Redhart, the descendant, and Vancouver's Mayor Royce Pollard, one of the key people to partner with the tribe. He planted memorial trees with the Nez Perce that still stand today. We lost Royce Pollard this year. Many of you will remember him. And most of the others are also gone. The Nez Perce return every single year to Vancouver for a healing memorial ceremony of friendship. This year it will be held on April 19th, so it's coming right up. It'll be at 10 a.m. at Parkside and 12 from
It's okay, so is her dog.
It's not only as a story of trauma,
What was your name?
it's the tale of resilience,
My name's Brad.
resistance, and healing and courage.
Beautiful dog. Have a good day.
Multicultural, pluralistic society, one that must recognize difference and respect both difference and our shared humanity. It's a story of colonization and oppression, yes, but also of legal and social transformation, of the struggle for civil rights, and of the long, unfinished push to expand democracy. That is what we are doing. We are not just fighting back, we are trying to push forward to expand our democracy, to make it more inclusive.
That's awesome. Back scratcher she used for her wood. That's perfect.
Shit, you could have taped it to the slice water tank.
We will not
Use
Right.
that as a
we will
go-to.
remember,
2 in 1.
Right.
no one is above the law.
Like this, like,
That is in our Constitution. We are a nation born of resistance to monarchy and forged too in violence and repression, but also forged in people demanding a better way forward. Our story includes men over women, rich over poor, white over BIPOC, citizens over immigrants, but most importantly, it includes the fierce refusal to accept those hierarchies. We will not take it. So, we need only to look to the past to find courage. As Alyssa said, those people who fought back, not the people who went along with it, but those who fought back, those are the
Parker's
people who
feeling that?
inspire us and should inspire us. So that's why I say, hands off our history. Hands off our rights.
Yep.
We remember who we are, and we will continue to work toward who we want to be. That is what America is about, working toward who we want to be. We will work together. We will stand together. We will model resistance. Just like Cory Booker, like Susan B. Yes, Cory Booker and Susan B. Yes.
Go Corey.
Like Susan B. Anthony, Ida B. Wells, like the Cowlitz who just stepped in to rescue Columbia River mental health. Like the Chinook Indian Nation still fighting for federal recognition. Like the many men and women and people who have stood for their ground for many generations. Now, as Cory Booker said the other day, this moment is not about left or right, it is about right or wrong. We are a nation woven from threads of origin that stretch across the globe. People brought together in this time and place. Who we are, where we come from, and what we do matters deeply. I have been fighting for justice for indivisible since 2017. Many of you have been in this struggle even longer, including your whole lives. We are not alone. This movement has brought some of the most amazing people into my life, people I cherish, people who believe in a better world. And as each of you shouts hands off, you are choosing to build that better world too. So let us not despair. Let us rise up together, and as Cory Booker might say, we the people hold the floor, and we will not yield. Thank you. I now have the privilege to introduce Kevin Hart, who is from the Firefighters Union Political Action. Kevin, come on up.
the sidelines. All these distraught and disillusioned faces. Flags fly upside down.
Yep.
Bedtime stories without happy endings. The prince, not the donkey. The swan, not the lion king. Never be alone. Macy's Space Down, playing tin-cup boys. The mythical flush pavements scorches their face flesh. Voiceless chords severed by signals. Dead men walking.
IKEA has better guarantees.
The homebound
Nice.
in sad silence and wait for weekly meals from wheels punctured by presidential punishment. A father works a little shift. His boy solo on the soccer sideline. Mother walks her daughter to school.
It's actually fitting. Our country is on fire right now.
A chained lab moans for its master. A refugee cries for safety in a warm blanket.
There is a taco.
A woman's womb weeps. And my last poem was actually inspired by just a dear friend of mine who may be here today, Lindsay Holt, who's the owner of Wild Soma, and her motto is Stay Wild.
Nice. Dogs against Doge. That's a beautiful thing.
This is Stay Wild. And then there are wolves,
Or as David Pacman calls it, doggy.
wild from
Doggy.
resilient from fear, who run in packs, help raise their young,
What's up, puppy?
care for their sick, animals who mate for life. And then there are hunters, gamers for the soul,
Mama?
pride purveyors, fear holders, blind following the blind, processionary caterpillars who trample truth for profit and power. Is this the world we want to see? Attack dogs, salivating for chaos, the perishable purged by greed. Is what I am seeing real if nothing unreal exists? I resist anything who does not bring me alive. I give gratitude for good trouble. I bow to the Praetorian Guards protecting all of our freedoms. I rest in the cradle of kindness and kinship. I plant ivy into the earth, dig my hands deep into her seasoned soil, foreshadow
Oh, somebody needing help here.
foreshadow all of our future. I run with the wolves. I
somebody
vow
had
to
passed out
stay
earlier.
willing.
Right.
I vow to stay woke. I vow to stay wild.
I should have worn my other jacket today. The wolf on it. It
Right.
was dirty.
So is Trump.
Let me point out that Indivisible is planning on holding a community town hall for our representatives.
Trump's not a dirty wolf, though. He's a dirty dog. Nothing against dogs, though. Sorry, dogs.
No, he's just a creature.
He's a scum of the scum.
It would be good to do it here, but we can do it indoors in Vancouver High School.
He's like still water.
Right. Skunk water.
My apologies.
Should sick all the dogs on Trump. these people look like paid protesters to me. No.
Indivisible Greater Vancouver.
Like, I wonder how much the little one getting paid.
And all the dogs too.
Right.
Firefighters and ambulances.
Mm-hmm. I miss the get paid invitation.
In the words following are not just my own, but I want to make sure you know that these are words from the city as we look We have watched with sadness, strong remedy through each stroke of oversight on executive order after executive order, action after action by the current administration. Since inauguration day, the current administration has targeted issues and priorities that are important to Vancouver, including climate change, equity, inclusion, and community development. They have also targeted priorities for working families and youth veterans and some of the most vulnerable in our community. Women are frequent programs supporting education, healthcare, and social issues. It's not just numbers on the budget spreadsheet that are at stake.
Mm-hmm.
Real people, real families.
Trump is Putin's poop it. I love that.
At this meeting, we stay focused on our local priorities and will not be swayed by the changes.
He even got his hair. It's awesome.
We are committed to our values and have put it into policy, plans, and code. Our city council
Still think those shoes are sweet.
delivering on our part to address climate change, economic inclusion, I want to touch on the safety of our immigrant community.
Oh, Trump has better cabinets. All right. IKEA has better cabinets. Got it.
I want to make sure that you know that the Vancouver Police Department will not undertake immigration-related investigations. Our police and will not ask about immigration status. Officers
identify as Hispanic, Latino, Latin, Mexican, Chicano, South and Central American, or Hispanic American people that don't exist.
No, that's a big one.
Look, bad doge. That sign. This guy with the black shirt. Bad doggy. I don't see anybody using Elon's new legal name. Felon Muskrat. I should have done that, right? Felon Muskrat. Funny. It's really filled up. Oh, okay. Fat finger.
Many of you know young people that say, well, Social Security isn't going to be there when I retire anyway. You know what? They have succeeded in creating doubt about the financial security of Social Security and about it being filled with people that don't deserve the benefits. And why? Because there's $1.5 trillion that we pay in out of our pockets into Social Security every year that the financial sector wants to get their hands on by privatizing Social Security. The truth is, Social Security is fully funded by our money that we pay in, and it can only pay out benefits that by law it can't pay for
Right. I mean, how many people die after putting into Social Security before they can even collect one dime? This is accruing interest for decades, but we're running out. No, we're not.
Like, why are we running out? Because we're spending it?
Right. They're running out because they're diverting it away from us.
The only reason why the richest company or richest country in the world is because of us.
Right. Money that I paid in for 40 plus years and they want to take it away. Oh, it's a Ponzi scheme. Ponzi my ass, bitch.
Ponzi scheme, you're trying to tell me it is a Ponzi scheme.
Right. How much fucking money has he put into Social Security
Right.
while he's stealing government contracts?
Where virtually all the productivity in the country has not gone to workers as it is historically.
400 billion, but I cannot have my 12,000 a fucking year.
Wages have kept up with productivity. The average worker have almost doubled the income.
You've got mail, you got fired. Awesome. Felon Musk.
There will be something of a shortfall in revenue or benefit of about 20%. But there's a way to solve most of that pretty easily, and that's make the rich pay their fair share.
Musk is an African Nazi. Beautiful.
We only pay Social Security on a push $176,000.
Many people hate me.
Is awful, but for many it isn't. And if they pay
Gee, I wonder why.
that would take care of most
You're taking away our ability to freaking live. To have health care. Whiny people hate me. Because we all not fucking the richest person in the world.
Did you know how much money you're going to have? Did you know how long you're going to live? Did you know if you're going to get disabled?
Because this is what happens when you take away people's livelihoods.
Did you know if you're going to die of independence?
You want to say the thieves make the biggest noise?
Security is a
He should be squealing like a fucking stuck pig.
situation that we have some basic income. And the conservatives want to call it instead just as another sort of retirement savings. It's not. It's an insurance program that we all pool our resources into it and share those benefits. So, what do we do? Well, we need to tell the truth about Social Security, that it's not going broke, it can't go broke, and fraud is ridiculous. And more important than that, we need to share stories. Our own stories, the stories of our families, our parents.
Not one paid protester among
And
us.
encourage friends and family across the country.
Look like a bunch of concerned citizens, though. That's what it looked like to me.
Share those stories with local media, Congress. Have a rally outside the Social Security office, support those special workers, and say that it's outrageous that we don't have basic staffing levels to meet the needs of Social Security. And that we know what they're trying to do is destroy the program through the contract. Now there's a special obligation of those in the third progression, because a year and a half ago, the great leaders out Paris co-sponsored with two other Democrats and Republicans a bill that was called the Fiscal Security Act. The real purpose of that act is to cut Social Security benefits. It didn't pass, but she was a co-sponsor. She needs to know that she needs to be a supporter, not a defender of Social Security. We're just beginning to learn about the
I
real.
wonder how much Elon Musk is paying in taxes. We know Donald Trump paid $700 that 1 year. I wonder how much he's paying off of his $400 billion contracts.
Right.
Because I think if we taxed him even, what, 5%? That would put a big fucking revenue for us. You know?
Steve.
We wouldn't be needing money if he and Donald Trump paid their fair share.
Public like this gives us hope that we win. Hands off.
Yeah, hands off.
I'd like to introduce some friends of mine, Coyote Moon, who are going to sing for us.
Felon Muskrat and Doggy and Humpty Trumpty can all go suck it. Cute. Too cute. Where'd they get their shirts?
Maybe they made them.
Just look over there and see if they have. If that booth is selling. I'm wondering.
Maybe I see other people wearing them.
Nice box covers, everything. Yes, he does.
This side. Look.
What? Oh, F. Elon and the Felon. Yep. That's it. We're chill. Beat the bureaucracy. Nice. Cute. She ran thinking she was going to be out of the video. Democracy dies in silence. You know, looking at this crowd, we are not the healthiest people in the world. If there is a country that needs healthcare, that be us. OMG, GOP, WTF. For real, for real. The power of the people is greater than the people in power. Absolutely. Hands off our safety net. I am so enjoying the fact that Tesla stock has dropped half and that his safety net is failing. Good for that piece of doji shit. Doji shit. Orange lives matter. Exactly. Oh my God.
See the creativity you could have had and making a sign.
I know. Orange lives do matter. They matter bigly. Oh my gosh. See? Social Security, Medicare. We don't need it. We can all die, right? That's what the message is, right?
Excuse me, I need to sit.
Hands off our allies. Sounds good to me. There we go. Now I can see that sign better. Orange line matter. Oh no, never mind. It turned. There we go. You can throw all you want, but eventually David had to pick up a stone against Goliath. Exactly. I like her cane. A cane and a chair.
I've had the privilege of a 40-year career in government and now have the privilege to still work for my agency in District 3. I want to talk about the importance of government science and why we need to send a clear message to this administration to take their hands off our public science and science agencies. Today, as never before, we are seeing an attack by our own government on government agencies that are responsible for providing countless services to the American people, as well as ensuring that we have the knowledge, resources, and capability to be resilient for the future. We know their attack is not about reducing our
There's no more grappling by the
direct what data is being collected. The public right to see how that data is being collected. The public right to access that data. And the public right to
Protect
know
the
how that
Constitution,
data
hands off
is
Social
being
Security, Medicare, Medicare. Yes, sir.
All government data, except perhaps for the Defense Department, is in the public domain. Conversely, private company data is proprietary. They can share or not as they choose. I am not against private companies. I'm simply against private companies doing government work. So what falls under government science? I think of it like this. Private companies do science that makes things. My bad. Airplane parts, or extract stuff like oil and minerals. Science for which things make us all. Academics do science to understand the fundamentals of how systems work, and whose discoveries often result in big payoffs. Government science collects data, monitors systems, and applies knowledge for near and long-term planning for the benefit of all society. All forms of science are important and necessary. In government science, individual scientists may have a small study area, but their science is often regional or national in scope. Think weather systems, river transportation, pollution, water and mineral resources, disease transmission, climate effects, invasive species, biodiversity, earthquake monitoring, volcano hazards, space exploration, agriculture adaptation, and on and on and on. Government science often transcends state and national boundaries, but science has no boundaries and requires consistent and verifiable long-term data sets to understand trends in this constantly changing world. It is science that requires an open dialogue, not proprietary or secret, on how various specialized systems are interrelated. It is science used to regulate the effects of businesses on our health and environment. Much of the work government scientists do requires the high level of expertise that often takes decades to obtain. I don't want competing companies monitoring our water resources and quality with their own standards of data collection and reporting. I don't want competing companies using different metrics to decide which drugs are safe and which are not. I don't want a company deciding they are no longer interested in monitoring pollutants.
There we go.
because the profit
Muskrat.
margin is too
Take your
small.
Tesla and go to Hawaii.
I don't want the
Yeah,
shipping
selling
industry
muskrat.
to have to pay a company to know when it's safe to cross the Columbia Bar on the way to Fort Vancouver. Information now free from NOAA. I
Foxtrot,
don't want
Tango
companies to
Delta.
be able to hide data that they or the administration doesn't like. Remember, cigarette companies knew from their own internal science that cigarettes cause cancer decades before they were forced to admit it. And I certainly don't trust companies to be responsible for monitoring themselves.
Right.
According to the EPA,
Or if he comes across a government contract that would be a conflict of interest, that he would hand it over to somebody else? Really? Yeah, really. Why do I find that hard to believe? Tell me why.
to clean up their toxic dump sites if the EPA no longer exists.
Is it just because I'm a childless cat lady? Huh? Granddaughter?
The administration is not only attacking their own agencies, but academic institutions.
Had to have a kid in order to have you.
This should also be a concern to everyone. We have benefited from being the recipient of brain drains from other
This is a pretty good spot, huh?
Yes, it is. Shade, too.
Yeah, and great people watching. Watch them coming and going, checking out all their signs.
Yeah, oh, great signs.
Yes.
with full funding from academic institutions
Trump son. I don't want to have sex with him.
In his wettest, wildest dreams, right? You know? Be like, yeah, he wishes. That's classic. I like that.
Character used to matter.
Yes. Truth used to matter.
Yes.
Truth used to matter. Honesty had something, some merit, you know?
No,
No.
he doesn't know that word.
No.
never
No.
did.
Responsibility?
Oh, what?
Yeah.
What the hell's that?
Yeah. The buck stops here? No, he just watches it go right on by. Yeah. This is an awesome turnout for little old Vancouver. Ooh, I like her hair. Look at her hair. That one. That's beautiful.
Transparency and the public funding of science.
Which? Trump is a Russian asset. Yep.
Do you know there's an alien growing out of your stomach?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. You better watch out. Trump might come after it. He's the fertility president. Watch out. Watch out.
Combat misinformation and misinformation by knowing your facts and sources. Demand that government
Could have worn that jacket, but it's too hot.
Yeah.
The data in those websites is your data paid by your taxes. Vote. Vote at the ballot box.
You know, being as how Trump said that this is all paid protesters, I wonder how much that little alien growing out of her chest was paid.
Support your local media. They are our watchdogs. And perhaps most importantly, learn to listen to those who may not share your views, but who you may find share your goals. Point with the partisanship we have now. As a civil servant, I work with all kinds of people. We didn't necessarily share the same political backgrounds, religious beliefs, gender, sexual orientations, country of origin, but we did share common goals. We worked together towards those goals. Our differences may be much less than we think. We learn to listen to others and bring the conversation towards our goals rather than our differences. So please tell this administration and your elected officials that you love this country
That jacket's gotta be hot.
and you will hold them accountable. That you want to see funding restored to universities and public science agencies. Let them know that you will not be silenced. And tell them to take their hands off our science agencies. One last personal note. A little over 2 weeks ago, my partner had emergency brain surgery.
Oh.
He's home now, doing well, thanks to the science that allows us to image the brain, the scientists who interpret them. He's home now because we've learned how to safely drill holes in his skull to drain excess fluids. And we've learned how to send more hopes through arteries to stem bleeding. I mean, truly amazing stuff. To all the health workers, past and present out there, I just want to say thank you from the bottom to the top of my heart.
Well done. What are you going to do? You're going to get on the phone and you're going to send
Look like they made their jackets.
all your representatives and to the agencies involved. Restore the FDA, restore HHS, continue the funding, and put all employees back in
And I'm realizing I'm a crappy tripod. I've seen my fingers in this so many times. I said, I'm realizing I'm a crappy tripod.
He is tired of sitting on the sidelines and being upset about this crap that's going on. He's been disappointed in our federal government. He's here to remind us who we are.
Right, are we great yet? Not yet. We haven't suffered enough, lost enough, hurt enough. We're not great yet.
Hello, fellow patriots. Thank you all so much for coming out today. On behalf of everyone, we're so grateful that you chose to join us on this beautiful Saturday. If this is your first time protesting, please make some noise. Just listen. I'm turning 30 this year. I'll doing that and closing out my 20s. I am so proud of you this year. All of you expressing our First Amendment rights. It's a saving of democracy. But it's not really a democracy or government. We're a republic. We vote for people who vote on our behalf. We pick the pieces of the government chessboard, but they don't seem to make the moves we want them to be. We get to choose them, but they're not listening to us. Many of us have the opinion that these politicians pass the vote will either enrich themselves
What are you thinking?